Today I'll be talking about Sicilian defense, Najdrof variation. Actually, Najdrof variation is a very respected and reputable black defense. It is also known as the Cadillac or the Rolls Royce of chess opening. So from here you can see it's how good and how strong is Najdrof variation. So I'll be sharing some of the key points on Najdrof variation and my experience on this. Uh, Secondly, another issue is that it is also a very sharp opening, so you need to be careful, especially when you're playing Najdrof. It is also known as the double-edged sword, meaning that if you don't handle it rightfully, it might give you adverse results as well. Okay, let's go to the main line, the main line of Najdrof variation. Okay, all right. This is normally in response to white's e4 opening, e4 c5, and f3, d6, d4. Okay, when white plays d4, this is known as open Sicilian. Okay, when you are talking about open Sicilian, what it means is that main lines are open, especially for the bishop movements, where it is easily diagonals are open, so for fast and rapid development. This is in contrast to closed Sicilian. Closed Sicilian, the build-up is a bit slow, but lethal as well. So if you play it rightfully, it is also a very powerful weapon, closed Sicilian. Okay, so another aspect of this Najdrof variation is that most often than not, the c pawn will be given away, because the main idea of Najdrof defense is actually to have queenside minority attack and to have this c file, open c file. Okay, that is the main idea. Have this in thoughts, then you'll understand as we progress. Okay, all right. Like what I said, in this response, black will take this as to create the c file over here. Then knight takes and nf6. Nf6 will be more of a development move. Okay, development move. At the same time, it will try to have a control, as per se, control towards the center. Black needs to develop all this, and furthermore, it is hanging here. So in response, black plays knight c3. Okay, the black's main aim here, okay, a6 is basically the main aim here is actually to deny the b5 square. So this is the signature of Najdrof variation. Okay, Najdrof variation, basically to deny white on this important square on b5. Okay, just say if this move is not played, all right, immediately white responds with e5. Okay, white has these options of giving check. Of course, you can defend or take. Okay, the knight on f5 is difficult to dislodge. Of course, you can do that, but with concession, of course, you can push this, but you're weakening your pawn structure. So you have to look at that aspect as well. Okay, so this is actually the main idea of the Sicilian Najdrof variation. Okay, so let me go through the main online. Main online they call it. Okay, the main online is played like bishop g5. All right, this is called the main line, bishop g5. And nowadays, this is it's not playable, can be played quite aggressive as well. But these days they are opting for, most grandmasters will go for bishop e3 line. Alright, so in response to this, black plays e6, f4, very aggressive. White is basically wants to threaten the push of e5 here. Okay, so in response to this, black plays bishop e7. Okay, this is playable, or else even queen b6 also playable. It's known as the poison pawn variation. uh, okay, poison pawn variation. In this aspect, white can play in a quiet manner. They can also play a knight b3. Then you can play bishop e7, queen f3, knight b d7, long castling, and queen c7. Okay. So if you look at this line, if you analyze, like what I earlier said, the main idea is to have this C file open. At the same time, the minority attack on the queen side, the expansion of these pawns. Then after that, indirectly attacking this by developing this bishop here. So if you can see the dynamic of this Najdrof variation, it has so much of fireworks. Okay, this line is playable. Or alternatively, black can also play queen c7. Queen c7. This is playable. Or else h6. This is known as the Argentine or Gothenburg variation. Alright. So if you go back to this, knight b d7, g4. Okay, these are the aggressive way of white normally attacks under the old variation. Alright. Of course, the theory is quite deep, but the basic setup, the basic ideas and strategies as for black is that to have a minority queen side expansion attack. At the same time, perhaps the bishop will be developed over here. It is attacking on this diagonal, controlling this diagonal, and this rook might come here on c8 to support the c open file. It's quite aggressive, interesting, and you should play more often to get a feel out of it. Okay, all right, thank you.